Welcome to our deep dive on time management.
Time management, great topic.
Yeah, we're looking at this book, 100 Great Time Management Ideas by Patrick Forsyth.
Oh, very cool.
And, we're not going to, cover all 100 ideas,
Of course not,
but
no.
we're going to cover some of the best ones
Right.
and really kind of go deep on those and see if there's anything new that we can learn, that we can apply, or maybe even just relearn and reapply.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need a refresher.
A little refresher, exactly.
Yeah.
So where do we even begin with time management?
Well, it's interesting that Forsyth really starts at the very beginning with something very, very basic,
Okay.
but often overlooked, and that is understanding where your time actually goes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So he suggests two methods for that.
All right.
Using a pie chart for estimation
Okay.
or a detailed time log.
About time log. Yeah. So
Yeah.
a pie chart, that's like, how much time are you spending in meetings?
Exactly.
How much time are you spending doing actual work?
Yeah, general overview. Right, just
Yeah.
a general overview.
Yeah.
But the time log, I mean, that can be surprisingly revealing.
Really?
Yeah, you might think you're spending the majority of your day on high priority tasks.
Right.
But the time log might show you that you're actually getting bogged down
Oh.
by things like email or unscheduled interruptions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
So it's like, when you track your spending
uh-huh.
and then you realize like, oh my gosh, I spent like that much money on coffee.
Yes, exactly.
It's the small things that add up.
Yeah, the little things.
And Forsyth says that,
Mm-hmm.
even saving just 5 minutes a day
Wow.
adds up to over 2.5 days saved over a year.
That's incredible.
That's a lot of time.
It is a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it really highlights the cumulative effect
Right.
of those seemingly small
Yes.
time savings. It's like finding this hidden pocket of time in your schedule
Yes.
just waiting to be discovered.
Okay, so you've analyzed where your time is going.
Right.
Now what?
So then he says the next step
Okay.
is to plan your time proactively.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's a big advocate for having a rolling plan.
Okay.
Not just daily, but weekly and even monthly.
Oh, I gotta say, I struggle with sticking to a plan.
Yeah, I think that's a very common challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his point is that having a plan,
Right.
even if it's not perfect,
Right.
allows you to be more intentional with your time.
Okay.
Instead of just reacting to whatever comes your way.
Okay.
You're actually setting the agenda for your day and your week.
So it's like having a roadmap.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so even when those detours inevitably arise,
Right, because they always do.
they do.
Life happens.
Right,
You can course correct and get back on track.
absolutely.
Okay, so
And have
roadmap.
Yeah,
So now we have a roadmap.
now you have a roadmap.
Then he talks about this idea of Pareto's Law,
Pareto's Law.
the 80-20 rule.
Right, the 80-20 rule.
That 80% of our results come from 20% of our efforts.
Powerful, powerful concept.
I mean, that's a big statement.
It is a big statement.
I mean, if we could figure out what that 20% is.
Right. Imagine if you could identify
Right.
those crucial 20% activities that generate the most significant results.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Then you could focus on that.
Yeah.
Right. You
Yeah.
would prioritize those tasks and allocate your time accordingly.
Okay, so let's say my 20% is like the reports I write,
Okay.
that really impress my clients.
Okay.
But I also have to do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Like schedule meetings and respond to emails.
Right.
So how do I shift to that? How do I,
Well, so for starters, you could look at those administrative tasks
Yeah.
and see if any of them can be delegated
Okay.
or automated.
Oh.
Right. So maybe there's a virtual assistant
Oh, yeah.
who can handle your scheduling.
Yeah.
Or you can use a tool that manages your email more efficiently,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
freeing up your time
Yeah.
and your mental energy to focus on those high impact tasks.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all fits together.
Yeah, starting to come together.
But what about when everything feels urgent?
Oh, that's a tough
How do
one.
you decide what to tackle first?
Well, that's where Forsyth's 4 categories of tasks come in.
Oh, yeah.
He talks about urgent and important tasks.
Right.
Important but not urgent tasks.
Yes.
Urgent but not important tasks.
Oh, okay.
And then finally, tasks that are neither urgent nor important.
I remember learning about this like years ago.
Yeah, it's a classic.
But I've never really
It's hard.
applied it consistently.
It is hard.
It's hard to figure out where a task actually falls on that.
Yeah, it's tough.
When you're in the thick of things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It requires taking a step back
Yeah.
and honestly assessing
Okay.
the true value of each task.
All right.
And one helpful technique
Okay.
is to ask yourself, what would happen if I didn't do this task at all?
Oh, interesting.
If the answer is not much,
Yeah.
then it's probably not truly important,
I see.
even if it feels urgent in the moment.
Okay, so like all those emails I stressed over,
Exactly.
but I could have just waited,
Yeah.
a day or two.
Absolutely.
But what about those tasks that are important but not urgent?
Oh, yeah.
Those are the ones I struggle with.
Those are the tricky ones because it's so easy to put them off.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
They're often the tasks related to long-term goals
Right.
and personal development.
Yes.
They might not have immediate consequences,
I see.
but neglecting them can hinder
Okay.
your growth and your progress.
So like taking a professional development course
Absolutely.
or updating my portfolio.
Yes, perfect examples.
Things that are good for my career in the long run,
Right.
but don't always feel urgent.
Yeah, the day-to-day grind can take over.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Forsyth suggests scheduling dedicated time
Oh.
for these tasks,
All right.
just like you would for an important meeting or appointment.
So making it non-negotiable,
Exactly.
putting it on the calendar.
Yes, make a conscious effort to invest in your future,
Okay, I like that. Invest in your future.
even if it means pushing back
Okay.
on those seemingly urgent demands.
So we have the power
Yes,
to shape our schedule,
we do.
not let it shape us.
We're not slaves to the schedule.
Yes, I like that.
We are the masters.
Okay, and this leads us nicely into delegation,
Delegation.
which is one of Forsyth's
Big ones, yeah.
key strategies.
Huge.
Now, he mainly addresses this to managers,
Right, he does.
but I think the principles can apply
Absolutely.
to anybody,
Yeah,
even if you're not managing a team,
I agree.
you know?
Yeah, delegation isn't just about handing off tasks.
Right.
It's about leveraging the strengths of others
Okay.
and freeing up your time
Okay.
to focus on your own areas of expertise.
I like that. I like that perspective.
Yeah.
It's about empowering others
Empowering.
and creating a more collaborative
Yes,
and efficient work environment.
absolutely.
So Forsyth shares an anecdote in the book
Oh, yeah, I love this one.
about a manager who sees one of his team members
Mm-hmm.
seemingly doing nothing.
Doing nothing, quotes. Yeah.
Yeah. And he thinks
Slacking off.
or slacking off.
Yeah.
But it turns out he's actually deep in thought,
Deep in thought, yes.
working through a complex problem in his head.
Thinking it through.
Yeah. And it highlights the importance of trusting others
Trust.
to do the work,
Yes.
even if their approach is different from yours,
So important.
which is so hard
It is hard.
to let go of that control.
It is.
But, ultimately, it can lead to better outcomes.
It can, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes those skills might even be different from yours,
Mm,
which can lead to even better outcomes.
that's a good point. That's a good point.
You know, he even suggests
Okay.
exploring skill swaps with colleagues.
Oh, interesting.
Let's say you excel at data analysis,
Okay.
but struggle with writing reports.
Right.
Well, your colleague is a gifted writer,
Okay.
but finds data analysis tedious.
I see where you're going with this.
Trade tasks.
Oh, okay.
Allow each of you to focus on your strengths
Oh, that's good.
and learn from each other in the process.
So you're saving time.
You're saving time,
You're getting better results,
better results,
and you're learning.
It's
That's a win-win-win.
It's a win-win-win, exactly.
I like it.
It's a triple win.
Triple win.
There you go.
All right, so
All right.
delegation, skill swaps.
Skill swaps, yeah.
What else we got?
What else we got?
So we've talked about, understanding where our time goes,
Right.
planning proactively, and leveraging the power of delegation.
Yeah, those are big ones.
What other kind of gems does Forsyth offer?
Well, he goes into some of the nitty-gritty of
Yeah.
managing those everyday tasks and challenges that can eat away at our time. Okay. Yeah.
One thing he really emphasizes is the importance of clear communication,
Oh, yeah.
especially when you're delegating tasks.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times,
Mhm.
I've delegated a task and then I've had to spend extra time
Right.
like clarifying instructions
Yeah.
or correcting mistakes.
Right, because the initial communication wasn't clear.
Wasn't clear, right?
Yeah, and then you end up wasting everyone's time.
Exactly.
So he actually suggests using checklists
Oh, checklists. Yeah.
for recurring tasks or complex procedures.
Okay.
It not only ensures consistency,
Right.
but it also reduces the risk of errors.
Oh, checklists are a game changer.
They are.
I use checklists for everything.
I do too.
Packing for trips, onboarding new clients.
That's a great example
But really,
of how they can be adapted.
it takes the mental load off.
Yes, it does. It takes
Yeah.
the mental load right off.
Especially for those multi-step processes.
Yeah.
That can really derail your day.
Absolutely.
So checklists.
Checklists, yeah. Okay, got it. What about
What about?
those unexpected interruptions that always seem to pop up at the worst possible moment?
Oh, the dreaded interruptions.
You know, when you're in the flow,
Yeah, in the zone.
you're laser focused
Totally.
on a project,
Uh-huh.
and suddenly somebody pops in with a quick question.
Yeah, a quick question.
That turns into a 20-minute conversation.
Right, exactly.
That's the worst.
So Forsyth actually has a
Right.
slightly controversial suggestion for dealing with those.
Oh, okay, I'm intrigued.
He suggests in certain situations, strategically using a little white lie.
Oh, a white lie.
Now, before you get too concerned,
I was going to say that sounds a little...
he's not advocating for like outright deception.
Okay, okay.
It's more about using phrases like,
Okay,
I'm on a deadline, or I have a hard stop at time,
right.
to politely but firmly deter those
I see.
time-stealing interruptions.
Okay, that's good, because you don't want to be rude.
No, you don't want to be rude, but you also need to protect your time. You need to protect your time.
Yeah.
And it's about setting those boundaries.
Boundaries, yeah.
And protecting your focus time.
Focus time, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so little white lies.
Little white lies, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
In certain situations,
In situations?
he also emphasizes being mindful
Okay.
of social interactions
Oh, yeah.
in the workplace.
It's so easy to get caught up in those conversations.
It is.
Right.
And it's not about becoming a hermit,
Right.
but about being more intentional
Yeah.
about how you engage in those interactions.
So he says to be less in touch.
Less in touch. Yeah, that sounds counterintuitive.
Right. Which I
But his point is that by being more deliberate about your social interactions,
yeah,
you can actually have more meaningful connections
I see.
without sacrificing your productivity.
Okay, less is more.
Less is more in this case, yes.
Okay.
So one of the tips he suggests is scheduling short coffee breaks. Instead of lengthy lunches, or use those passing moments in the hallway,
Oh, yeah.
or quick catch-ups,
Yeah.
instead of letting them turn into
Impromptu meetings. Yeah.
impromptu meetings, right? It's
Yeah.
about setting boundaries and being respectful of everyone's time.
It's so easy to get caught up in that. I've definitely been guilty of that.
We all have.
So, okay, less in touch.
Less in touch,
Yeah.
yeah.
Got it.
Another strategy he talks about is what he calls blitzing the bits.
I'll sing the bit.
Blitzing the bits.
Okay, what is that?
Essentially, it's about setting aside dedicated time
Okay.
to tackle those small nagging tasks
Yeah.
that can clutter our minds and to-do lists.
Oh, those little things.
The bits, yeah.
The bits.
Individually, they don't take much time,
Yeah.
but they can accumulate and create this sense of mental clutter.
Mental clutter. Yeah, it's like
Right.
a weight on your shoulders.
It is. It is a weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like things like
Like what?
filing expense reports,
Yeah.
responding to non-urgent emails,
Yeah.
making quick phone calls that you've been putting off.
Yeah, all those things that just hang over your head.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he suggests scheduling a blitz session,
Oh.
maybe once a week or even 15 minutes a day,
Okay.
to clear the decks and get those little things off your plate.
I like that.
Create a designated time
Designated time for blitzing.
for blitzing the bits, yes.
Okay, blitzing the bits.
Blitzing the
Oh,
bits.
gosh.
He also addresses those dreaded paper piles
Oh, the paper piles, yes.
that seem to multiply overnight.
I'm a little bit of a paper person,
Okay.
so I'm always struggling
Mhm.
to keep those under control.
Well, Forsyth has a simple but effective system
Okay.
called document parking.
Document parking.
Document parking.
Right,
So instead of letting papers that don't require immediate action
right.
pile up on your desk,
Which is what I do.
he suggests creating a designated parking lot for them.
Okay, so like a tray,
A tray?
a folder.
A folder.
Just a corner of your desk.
Corner of your desk, whatever works.
Right.
The key is to have a system for capturing those papers
Okay.
and then scheduling time to review and process them.
Okay, so they're not just sitting there
They're not just sitting there
staring at you.
creating visual clutter
Yeah, and mental clutter.
and mental clutter.
makes
Exactly.
Document parking, got it.
And he also cautions against
Oh, yeah.
falling into the I know where everything is trap.
Oh, I am so guilty of that.
Yeah, it's easy to convince yourself
Yeah.
that organized chaos is still organized.
It's not, it's chaos.
It is chaos.
So you end up wasting a lot of time.
wasting time searching for things.
Yes.
So he emphasizes the importance of
Okay.
creating a filing system that works for you.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be elaborate.
Right.
But it needs to be logical and consistent.
Logical and consistent. Okay.
And this is where technology can be a huge asset.
Oh, yeah.
I've gone almost entirely digital with my filing system.
Me too.
So much easier to search for documents electronically.
Yeah. And you don't have to worry about them getting lost or damaged.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
speaking of technology.
Yeah.
Forsyth's book was published back in 2009.
2009, a long time ago.
Yeah. And while his core principles
Timeless.
are timeless,
Yes.
the technological landscape
It's changed a lot.
has changed drastically since then.
It has.
How do you think his advice translates
Mm-hmm.
to our world of constant digital connectivity and remote work in 2025?
That's a great question. And while he doesn't specifically address
Right.
remote work or the specific technologies we use today,
Right.
his insights on managing distractions and leveraging technology
Yeah.
are more relevant than ever.
Yeah, he talks about the potential for technology to be both a time saver
Yes.
and a distraction.
Huge distraction.
A huge distraction, yeah.
And those distractions are amplified
Oh,
in our hyper-connected world.
right.
I mean, we've got notifications popping up on our phones, emails flooding our inboxes,
Social media.
social media beckoning us with its siren song.
It's a constant battle to stay focused.
It is a constant battle.
I know I've lost countless hours
Me too.
to those digital rabbit holes.
Yeah, the rabbit holes are deep.
They are deep.
And they're everywhere.
Oh, what do you do?
How do you manage that?
Yeah.
Well, for starters, I try to be mindful of how I'm using technology.
Okay.
I set boundaries,
Okay.
like designating specific times for checking email and social media.
I've tried that.
Yeah,
It's hard.
it is hard. It's so easy to get sucked in.
Yeah.
I also find it helpful
Okay.
to create a dedicated workspace.
Oh, interesting.
Even when I'm working remotely,
Yeah.
it helps me mentally shift into work mode,
Okay.
and it minimizes distractions.
So, I've been working from my kitchen table for the past year,
Oh, yeah.
and
That can be tough.
it's really hard to separate.
Yeah.
Work from home.
It is. Those lines get blurred when
Yeah.
your office is also your dining room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So creating that physical separation can make a big difference
I could see that.
in your focus and productivity.
Yeah.
Forsyth also talks about the importance of taking productive breaks.
Oh, yeah. Breaks are important.
Breaks are essential
Yeah.
for maintaining focus and preventing burnout.
Yeah. Yeah.
So step away from your work,
Okay.
engage in something else,
Right.
and come back with a fresh perspective.
Go for a walk.
Go for a walk.
Get a cup of tea.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just need to disconnect.
You do. You
Just
do
a little
need to
bit to reconnect.
Reconnect, yeah.
Give your brain a chance to rest and recharge.
That's a good point.
And it boosts your productivity in the long run.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've talked about using checklists,
Check.
managing interruptions,
Blitzing
blitzing those little tasks,
the bits.
taming the paper piles. Paper piles.
And navigating the digital landscape.
The digital landscape.
Is there anything else from Forsyth's book
Let's see.
that you think is particularly relevant?
It's relevant.
Yeah, for our modern lives.
Well, he has some interesting thoughts on handling travel time,
Oh, travel time.
which I think is particularly relevant for
Yeah.
those of us who are constantly on the go.
Yes. Always traveling.
Whether it's for work or personal travel,
Right. Right.
he encourages us to view travel time
Okay.
as an opportunity for productivity
Oh, interesting. Okay.
instead of just scrolling through social media.
Right. Or just zoning out,
Zoning out, yeah.
staring out the window.
He suggests utilizing those hours.
Okay.
They're often wasted.
So,
Catch up on outline a presentation, brainstorm ideas,
oh, I like that.
turn those in-between moments
Okay.
into pockets of productivity.
Pockets of productivity.
Yeah.
I like that.
He also emphasizes planning ahead for those trips.
Oh, yeah. Planning is key.
Planning is key. Make sure you have all the necessary materials.
Like your laptop.
Your charger.
Your chargers, yeah.
Any relevant documents.
And my noise-canceling headphones.
Oh, yes. Noise-canceling headphones, essential
That's intense.
for blocking out distractions.
Yeah, especially on a plane or a train.
Especially on a plane. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
He also suggests packing light.
Oh, yeah, pack light.
Save time at the airport.
Yeah, those checked bags can really eat into your time.
Oh, they can.
Yeah.
It's nothing worse than starting a trip,
Right.
feeling
Stressed out. Yeah.
because you're waiting at baggage claim.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's all about streamlining those processes
Yeah.
to maximize your time and minimize hassle.
Okay, so we've talked about, all these different strategies
We have.
from the micro level tasks
Yeah.
to those broader
In
principles
this picture.
of planning and delegation.
Yeah.
But there's one final concept from Forsyth's book
Oh.
that I think deserves its own dedicated discussion.
All right, lay it on me.
The power of starting meetings on time.
Ah, yes, a topic near and dear to my heart.
This is a big one.
It is a big one. It's about respecting everyone's time
Yes.
and ensuring that those meetings are productive and focused.
I can't tell you how many hours
I know, right?
I've wasted waiting for meetings to start.
It's so frustrating.
It's so frustrating.
It's disrespectful to everyone involved.
It is. It is.
So Forsyth is adamant about the importance of starting and ending meetings promptly.
Okay.
He even goes so far as to suggest starting the meeting on time,
Okay.
even if someone is missing.
Wow. That's a bold move.
It is a bold move,
Yeah.
but it sends a clear message
What's that?
that time is valuable
Okay.
and that everyone's contributions are respected.
I got to say, I kind of admire that no-nonsense approach, you know?
Yeah, it's like, we're here to work.
Yeah.
Let's get it done.
Yeah, and I've been in so many meetings
Gee.
that have dragged on unnecessarily
Oh.
because people weren't respectful of the scheduled time.
Absolutely. It can be a real productivity killer.
It is. It is.
Yeah, it really can be a productivity killer when meetings drag on.
So it's not just about starting on time.
No.
It's about having a clear agenda
Absolutely.
and sticking to it.
Sticking to it, yes.
Oh, agendas are crucial.
It's so crucial.
I've been in so many meetings where
Yeah,
it feels like we're just going in circles.
right.
There's no clear purpose
Yeah.
or direction,
Yeah, like, what are we even doing here?
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Everyone's just talking, but no real decisions
Right? No decisions are being made.
are being made.
It's just a waste of time.
just a waste of time.
Yeah.
So a well-structured agenda
Yes.
helps keep everyone on track,
Absolutely.
and it prevents those meandering discussions
The meandering, yes.
that eat up time.
Eat up time, yeah.
What about any other business sections at the end?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like those can sometimes turn into a free-for-all. People bring up all these unrelated topics
Right.
that
yeah.
could have been addressed
Yeah.
in a separate email or conversation.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So Forsyth actually recommends
Okay.
dealing with those miscellaneous items
Okay.
at the beginning of the meeting
Oh, interesting.
rather than the end.
I've never thought of that,
Yeah,
but it makes sense.
it does.
Get those
Well-
smaller items out of the way
Yeah.
so you can focus on the main agenda item.
Focus on what's important.
Okay, I like that.
He also suggests setting time limits
Oh, yeah.
for each agenda item.
Time limits, yeah.
Yeah, to prevent those discussions from dragging on unnecessarily.
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up
It is.
in a particular topic
Right.
and lose track of time.
Absolutely.
So having those time limits can help
Yes.
keep everyone focused,
And accountable.
accountable, yeah.
Okay.
And it's not just about managing the meeting itself.
Right.
It's also about the follow-up.
Oh, yeah, the follow-up. Forsyth stresses the importance of capturing key decisions
Yes.
and action items
Yes.
so that everyone's clear.
Layer on what needs to happen next.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's something I've been trying to be more diligent about.
Yeah, it's easy to.
Because I used to leave meetings thinking,
Right.
oh, we had a great discussion.
Yeah.
And then I'd get back to my desk and be like,
Wait, what were we supposed to do?
what was I supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's easy for those details
It is easy.
to get
It's
lost
lost in the shuffle.
in the shuffle, yeah.
So having a designated note taker
Okay.
or using a collaborative tool to track action items
Oh, yeah.
can really improve meeting effectiveness.
Okay, so we've talked about
We've talked about a little bit.
understanding where our time goes,
Uh-huh.
planning proactively,
Right?
delegating effectively,
Yes.
managing everyday tasks,
Mm-hmm.
interruptions,
Right.
and even running efficient meetings.
Efficient meetings, yeah.
What's the overarching message here?
The big picture.
The big picture, yeah.
What does Forsyth really want us to take away from this book?
What's the takeaway?
What's the takeaway? I think it's that time management
Right.
isn't about squeezing more into our already packed schedules.
Right.
It's about making conscious choices
Okay.
about how we spend our time,
Right.
prioritizing what truly matters,
Okay.
and creating a more fulfilling and productive life.
So working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. Working smarter, not harder.
I like that.
It's about recognizing that time is our most valuable resource
It is.
and that we have the power to choose how we use it It's about designing a life that aligns with our values and priorities.
I like that.
A life where we have time for the things that bring us joy and fulfillment.
The things that matter.
The things that matter.
Yeah. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Patrick Forsyth's 100 great time management ideas.
100 great ideas.
What's one final thought?
One final thought.
That you would leave our listeners with?
Time is a gift.
Ooh. Treat it wisely.
Okay.
Don't let it slip away unnoticed. Be intentional. Be strategic. And make the most of every moment.
Make the most of it.
Make the most of it.
I love that. And remember,
even
small changes can have a big impact over time.
They can.
Start by implementing one or two of the strategies we discussed today and see how it transforms.
See what happens.
Your relationship with time.
Your relationship with time.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive.
We did.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
Any aha moments you had.
Absolutely.
Feel free to share your own time-saving tips and strategies that have worked for you.
We'd love to hear them.
Until next time.
Happy time traveling.
Happy time traveling.
Happy time traveling.